Hello everyone. My name is Yash. I'm again with my new YouTube video. Basically, in this video, we are be covering what is NGINX. So yeah, NGINX is basically known for web server, and NGINX nowadays is trending on everywhere. Like every website we know was deployed on NGINX using NGINX. So NGINX has their basic features like reverse proxy, caching. We will be covering everything in this video or in this series. So the motto of this video is what is the context of this video in this video we are going covering what is web server basically, and what is Nginx, what is Apache, and how Apache is different from the Nginx, and why we are using Nginx in this video. So at the end of this video, we will be installing Nginx on our EC2 server, and till the series we will be managing like multiple servers using Nginx. So yeah, stay with me till the end, and hit the like button hit the like button if you love this video. So yeah, let's move to the screen. Let's start with the Nginx. Nginx basically a web server where an request goes to a browser by any client, or we will go on a browser and we will request for an Amazon website. So Amazon has their own web server where request of a browser go to a web server, and request fetched by the browser by from that particular web server, and we will able to see the website itself. So what is web server? What is a web server? It means web server are a computer that deliver the request to a web pages, just like that. If we have web servers created, and we have deployed our basically, so let's take an example like gigs. For gigs is a one web server, and we will be locating that web server for the C++ file. So yeah, HTTP server, it means that gigs for gigs is a HTTP web server which is uh, located on that particular web server, and we are requesting for the C++ file over the gigs for gigs. So inside web server, we have HTTP server, which we deploy on web server, and we will requesting for the file. So from browser, client goes to a browser, search for a gigs for gigs, and the HTTP request goes to a web server, and on the port that particular gigs for gigs website is running on, it will fetch the request from the that particular web server and deliver it to us. Okay, so that's it for web server, and so and then point comes in the mind, like what is Nginx then? So Nginx is a open source software designed for maximum performance and scalability. Like when like if we deploy on our website on a web server, there will be a no client, like no one will fetch that particular website. But the popular website like Amazon, Flipkart, many more users are getting to get to fetch that particular website at a time. So multiple requests goes under on that particular website. So in Nginx is basically has there some features and functionality that will fetch that particular request from the particular server and deliver it to a client. And in a second point, it is a powerful open source software for web serving. It will serve the web services from various servers, multiple servers, and reverse proxying, it will fetch that particular request from a client, goes to a server, and server to a client. So yeah, it has caching services. We will be covering this point on later on. What is caching service basically? So whenever the request fetch from that particular server, it will store that information in a caching file, in a less time period it will deliver to again to a client whenever client goes that particular website again. So yeah, it is initially created and address says the CK10, what we say, like 10 thousands of curriculum connections are there when we fetch that particular request from the server. So yeah, this is particular Nginx architecture. So Nginx architecture is basically a master slave architecture where work where we have multiple worker nodes like master, like first of all master request goes to any worker node. Worker node goes to worker request goes to proxy cache, and proxy cache decides that on which server they want to deliver that particular request of that particular user. So yeah, this diagram basically covers everything that what how Nginx come into a play and where it actually located. So whenever an user request for an, like for example www.example.gov, an user is particularly request from then request first go to a Nginx server. If we have two separate server, like one web server on which Nginx is running on and one web server where our application is running on, so Nginx basically fetch that particular request from that user, and that Nginx request, uh, like for example, like user request from a for request for an www.example.com. So this request goes to a web server of particular that example.com, and Nginx fetch that request from that web server, and it has the capability to deliver that particular web server request and has a response back to a user. So yeah, we have our deployed application on particular web server, and Nginx fetch that request whenever a client request for that particular web server, and like the cycle goes on with the reverse proxy uh, feature of that Nginx. So we will be covering this proxy feature later on, and yeah, that's it for the Nginx. Theoretical concepts are getting older. Then so yeah, this is a we have two mindset, like Apache is also one of the web servers. So what is the why we can't use Apache as a web server, or why we have to use Nginx over Apache? So yeah, Apache is best. I have used Apache, but Nginx has their physics functionality, like it is as we say, like Apache is designed for to be a web server, and Nginx is both web server as well as river proxy server. So Nginx basically fetching request from client, delivered it to a web server, fetched again from the web server, and particular data from the web servers get transferred to a that particular client. So yeah, Apache cannot process multiple requests concurrently. Heavy web traffic, due to heavy web traffic, like if Apache have their heavy, loads by the heavy web traffic, then Apache is not able to process that multiple requests. Over Nginx can process multiple client requests concurrently with the limited resources. Like we have, if we are in Nginx, we have limited resources. So Nginx is able to process multiple requests. So Apache has a has a multi-thread approach to process the client. Over Nginx has event-driven approach. Like if a particular task get scheduled for to go from a user to Nginx server with reverse proxy from the web server, it has that particular route as an event-driven approach uh, on which Nginx works on. Apache has dynamically loaded, or Nginx cannot be loaded in a dynamically, and Apache handles dynamic content within the web server itself, and over there can Nginx cannot process the dynamic content. So that's it for the theoretical concept. Let's create one EC2 server, and let's get installed uh, our first Nginx on web server, and run our first website and over the server. Let's move with the practical session. Make sure you have that AWS free tier account in your machine with the accessibility. Like we will be creating one EC2 server. Over there we will be installing Nginx, and I'll recommend you to go with the EC2 server that actually clears that how the request come from the particular client, and how we delivered it to a multiple server. Like we will create in future, we will create a multiple web server, and fetching that particular request from a client and deliver it to a multiple server using load balancer. So yeah, s- uh, create one EC2 server. So go on EC2, search for EC2, and under EC2, you have to launch one instance. So click on launch instance, give it a name, like for example, I will be giving like NGINX. I will giving I'm giving like NGINX demo. Going with Amazon Linux base image, has a base image. Go with the free tier eligibility. Uh, free tier eligibility. Y- you will you will create one key pair if you don't have. If you have if you don't have, gonna create a new key pair and download it in your local machine. Then click to that particular key pair, and then yeah, that's it. But then I have one key pair name in demo, so I will click on that. Then create like HTTP server we will be using to uh, that particular launch of that particular Nginx website. So yeah, that's it for that EC2, and launch that particular instance. Yeah, so is instance is launched. Go to the instances. Yeah, so our, as we see, our Nginx demo is running. This is my particular, like I have created this particular instance before for the practical, and I have terminated that particular instance. So let's connect with that particular instance. Copy this particular IP address, or if you want to connect this with your uh, AWS terminal, but come here and in EC2 instance connect, create connect. But I am going to connect this particular server with my local machine terminal. So yeah, here I have to copy that particular command to connect it on. Okay. So I am inside my, like, sorry, I am inside my download folder where my demo has a key uh, .pem file, like key pair is present on. So I I will give the permission of read and write to that particular demo. After that, let me execute this command that will actually connect that particular server with my local machine. So yes, it asks for the permission. Give it a yes, and now you are connected with your UC2 system. So let's clear me. Let's update that first. So I am using my base image as a AWS. So I am using, if you used Ubuntu, so give it a uh, give it a like here I have mentioned some command with Ubuntu, but I am using AWS Amazon as a base image. uh in if like those commands or configuration firewall, they are basically for local system. If you are not using EC2 server from AWS, if you are using Nginx from inside your local machine, so use those command to, like what we say, like if you wanna export that particular Nginx to a web server, you will be using that HTTP to allow HTTP. This command is basically for to allow HTTP traffic from uh, web browser to that particular Nginx web server. And here are some basic configuration command. Make sure you will go from them, or you also can you will also check that particular commands on Nginx documentation as well. So come to terminal again. Let me first update the server. It will take time to update. Yeah, it is. Yeah, now it's updated. Let me clear the screen. Yeah. So now let's enjoy. Sorry, install Nginx. So yeah, sudo Okay, this command basically install nginx. Give it a green flag. It means yes. Okay, now nginx is now installed in our local machine. So let's check first. Yeah, so nginx is now installed. So let's check for the status first. What is the status of our nginx web server? So sudo, it's not apt yum not no no we have to check for the status. So system ctl status nginx, it will show the status. Now it is disabled, so come out and again, instead of status, let hit the start. Yeah, and now again check status. Now our nginx web server is activated. So let's check that our nginx web server is running or not. So come to a browser, copy this where is it? Copy that particular instance IP, launch the browser and paste that particular IP. Yeah, so yes, our nginx web server is running. If you check that particular IP or it is basically running on port 80. That but every website first run on HTTP. So if we copy that, I think it will copy. If we copy that or paste it on a notepad, it will show HTTP has a HTTP dat HTTP colon double slash with that particular IP. Uh, as you all know, HTTP is a port uh, which have port number with 80. So every uh, HTTP server is running on port 80. So now that's it for the video. And next in this next video we will be seeing that what how do we configure that particular nginx, from where that particular text is coming from, and where that particular HTML file where that text is installed is located. And in next video, we will be manipulating that particular website and changing the website by our end. So yeah, that's it for the video. Make sure you like that particular video and hit that particular subscribe button. Uh, it will actually help me to make more content on Nginx. So yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye.